FC Gundlach has spent his life pursuing the perfect picture. The 83-year-old's work set new photographic standards. His comprehensive collection of work is now on display in Berlin.
You can think of it as a trip through my own story, life and career. It's also 4 decades chronicling the history of culture, fashion and photography.
The exhibition features some 350 photos by the artist, prime examples of his famous fashion photography, as well as an array of star portraits. Among them are actor Cary Grant, film director Jean-Luc Godard, and actress Romy Schneider. Few photographers were able to capture her on film so candidly. This photo was taken in 1961.
We met and drove to my studio. It was just the assistant, her and me. And the intimacy of the atmosphere perhaps made her feel more free and let her open up and be herself.
Born in 1926, FC Gundlach discovered his passion for photography early on at the age of 10. He took this photo using a self-timer.
I had an uncle who developed films at home, and he took me along sometimes. I thought it was fascinating, with the red bulbs in the white paper, and suddenly a picture formed from this white paper. This mystery of photography, that something invisible becomes something visible. That really struck me.
After completing his photography training in the late 40s, he began to specialize in fashion photography. With a combination of stylized modeling and edgy shoot locations, the photographer soon became the rising star in his field. FC Gundlach captured the prevailing zeitgeist in his photos like no other photographer. In this way, his pieces made cultural history.
It was very important to me to do minimalist work. That applied to both the poses and the light. I was a proponent of what Americans call one single light source, creating a photo with just one light.
The photographer has lived and worked in Hamburg since 1956. His home is also the site of his sanctuary, an archived history of his life's work in photos.
Those are the originals I used for the prints.
The archive contains more than 10,000 photos and documents, which served as the source for the current exhibition. The planning phase lasted 4 years.
A good exhibition is a symbiosis of the architecture and the rooms. And my curator and I found what I think is an ideal solution.
The high point of the exhibition is the photographer's unknown works, which include travelogues and photos of children. The artist says he was fascinated by the openness in their young faces, a window into their lives.
I'm always curious, and that always opens up new possibilities for me. I ended my active career as a photographer in the 80s, but I became a collector and curator, and I did exhibitions so photography would stay in the center of my life, and that won't change.
FC Gundlach and his work, living proof of his life's mission, the recognition of photography as an art form.